Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another week of your weekly tarot and oracle card reading. This is also including the full moon in Capricorn. What I've done to cut down on time is I've gone ahead and shuffled the cards and gotten some cards from Spirit and included the guidance and also pulled out the full moon in Capricorn card. So the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Hermit card that came up first, the King of Cups, and the Moon. For the overall theme of the reading, we have the Hanged Man, which this is from the Black Power Tarot card deck. This is based on the Marseille, I believe it's pronounced, tarot, but it includes great cultural icons from the Black culture. And here we've got Tupac as the Hanged Man. The guidance that came out was the Smoky Mirror and the Vision Quest, which I will read at the end. But we've also got the Full Moon in Capricorn Moonology card, and I'll read that at the appropriate time. I have the full moon candle lit, as well as the root chakra candle, which I believe is connected with the sign of Capricorn, since we have full moon in Capricorn coming up this week. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's see if I can kind of show you the cards as I'm kind of talking about them. So the first card up is the Hermit. This week's energy highlights a maturation of a project or a process in the Hermit. You might be taking a step back from regular life, maybe a vacation or taking a creative course, something that guides you to express your inner life. The Hermit as the 9 card in the major arcana makes sense. 9 is considered a number of independence and nearness to completion. Completion being in the number 10. However, I get the sense that this vacation or course might be something completely new to you, something you've always wanted to do, but never had the time or chance to try. Let's go on to the King of Cups. The King of Cups represents yet another type of maturity that's coming into the scene. You might find yourself having some sort of an artistic block, or possibly highlighting a question deep from your soul. The King of Cups brings an energy of balance in what is and what isn't. Are you attempting to monetize the result of your inner expression, or are you happy where you are? If the goal of the art or the vacation is the expression of your inner life, does that mean that your regular work hides your soul? This could be you rethinking your present career or possibly discovering a new talent. There is a sense of calm in your approach. What comes up, if you let it, becomes helpful and supportive. The King of Cups asks you to trust this time. Now, we'll move on to the Moon as the final card in the reading. Make sure you can see that. So the Moon card is the 18 card in the major arcana, and it reminds us of our unique and infinite value in confusing times. If we break up that number 18 to 1, which represents the self or the soul, and 8, which is the unending source, we again find the 9 of the Hermit. We're reminded of that energy. The nearness and completion and the reminder, of our deeper self and our ability to self-renew. I think of the energy of the phoenix when I think of the self-renewal represented in this card. burning brightly, all aflame, then crumbling to ashes, only to be born again from those same ashes. The full moon in Capricorn on the 24th has that kind of Capricorn, that Phoenix energy. So I wanted to share a story here, just to kind of get you in line with maybe an example of this reading so far. Years ago, I went on vacation to South Beach in Miami with an alumni group. At the time, and I was very unhappy in a job, and I had no idea what to do or where to go. My soul, for some reason, had been calling for a retreat. I needed a retreat, and I was just dreaming of ways that I could take some sort of sabbatical. This trip was the closest that I could get to that. While I was there, the trip coordinators had a Vedic meditation teacher available. So over the course of the vacation, we would be able to work with him to begin our journey as meditators. And I jumped at the chance. It just felt right. I took the course, and at the end, I was blessed with a mantra by my teacher and came back to my regular life and regular problems. The only difference was meditation every morning and afternoon for 20 minutes. And honestly, I didn't feel anything different. I didn't feel a change or anything like that. It was nothing, big. But it wasn't until the day, not long after I got back from vacation, that I was ushered into a meeting with my boss and the human resources department head, and was told that my job was being severed. I was being severed. So any other time, I think prior to that, I would have reacted as a failure. I would have cried. I would have felt victimized because, quite honestly, that boss and that particular place of work were not the friendliest to women in particular. And on top of that, I probably would have felt rejected before that. But I was actually really surprised at the level of calm that I had. And I actually smiled when they told me this, because the thought had entered my mind, this is the sabbatical that I needed. This is the rest that I had been asking for. And I had to ask them out loud. I said, does that mean that you're paying me to not work for a few months? And they said, yes. And so my response is, hey, where do I sign? And I was just so happy to get away from an unhappy job that I actually almost missed a new job opportunity that came up only a few weeks later, like really only a couple of weeks. And I say all this to say, maybe try meditation or some inner soul work. That's what the hermit energy here is calling us to. Some sort of unique work, inner soul work, an inner approach, finding an inner calm. Because I have the sense that this full moon in Capricorn is coming up. It's going to tie up some loose ends for us. You might have been going through some really tough times, because let's go ahead and read this full moon in Capricorn Moonology card. It says, full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaches. So let's check that out. Okay. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, This card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. To attune to the moon, release control, and trust the universe. Yes, that's what I'm feeling in this King of Cups, this calmness, this trusting of the self, this supportiveness that's coming out of the King of Cups. So additional meanings for this card: a professional project might be ending now. Yes, that's also what I felt with the Hermit card. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private lives. And it's time to stop fearing the worst. The teaching. This full moon in Capricorn has a very strong work ethic and energy, and will more than likely come up when you're asking a professional question. If your question is about another matter, it will serve as a much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may have been feeling about your situation. And this applies no matter when you draw the card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time. Yeah, that's also kind of what I sense from the reading, is this pulling back and, yes, possibly making a plan. So let's go ahead. Actually, the Knight of Pentacles, yes, represents the arrival of an offer or pondering a change. This Black Power Tarot card with Tupac as the Hangman shows Tupac as the Hangman and is described by Con Eaton, the maker of this deck, the creator of this deck. He describes this as the artist who offered the worries of his ego as a sacrifice for inner work. And this is someone that is deeply in touch with their spiritual side, unconcerned with winning or losing. And so the Hangman also stands for someone in the stillness of balance between worlds. Con Eaton describes Tupac as having attained a mastery of self through his lyrics and showing his wisdom to the world. So with that, let's go ahead and read these guidance cards from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. We've got the Smoky Mirror and Vision Quest. All right, number 47. And these both came out upright, so I'm going to read the invitation that each card has for you. The Smoky Mirror represents the aspects of what is implied, yet cannot be immediately known in the world. The mystery of how things come together and how they fall apart without obvious causality. This symbol also represents the shadow of the human psyche, the parts of the self that one disowns. The Smoky Mirror can also represent a state of denial, or the inability or refusal to see the truth. Yeah, I kind of feel that also in this Hermit card. The invitation. When the symbol of the Smoky Mirror appears, you're invited to see beyond your own self. Acknowledge that, past the limits of your current ability to perceive, there is a vast interconnected world where events are orchestrated in divine order, but challenging to fully grasp. Now is the time to trust that no matter what the current conditions of your world reflect, in the hidden realms, all aspects of the human journey are celebrated. The beauty and the darkness, the misery and the courage. No matter where you are on your journey, know that some things are meant to be a mystery, which you are meant to understand only through experience. Take heart, for the Smoky Mirror will ultimately show you beauty and wonder once the fog lifts the distortion you see now. Yeah, I do feel a retreat energy here in order to appreciate the mystery. And maybe in meditation, and this moon card is also that mystery, right? That there's a little bit of chaos when we look at the moon card. There is value in chaotic energy and the not knowing, in the mystery of the moon. So let's take a look at Vision Quest guidance. In the vision quest, you face your fear, embrace your mortality, and then meet face to face with spirit. When we feel stagnant, a vision quest brings our lives into perspective. We realize our flaws, our potential, and the opportunities life is now offering us. We remain on a vision quest until we find the key to open a new door or write a new chapter in our lives. The invitation. Find clarity by spending time alone in nature. If you live in a city, go for walks in a park. If you live in the country, make sure that you spend time outside in contemplation. Get off the couch, get away from your desk, go outside. Spirit helps those who help themselves. So set your intention and ask nature for a guiding vision for your life. Yeah, that's also why I'm sensing this like retreat energy, this wanting to commune with self and with spirit and with nature this coming week, and also with the full moon energy. I just really think that would help understand the mystery, understand the things that happen that kind of make sense spiritually but cannot really be explained, which is, it's the mystery. It's the mystery of life. It's the mystery of the spirit world. So that is your reading for the week of June 20th. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a wonderful week. Thanks.